My child, God says congratulations, because something that has been blocked for years has finally been released in your favor, and Archangel Michael is standing right beside you, holding the miracle that belongs to you. Heaven says you cannot skip this message, not today, not at this moment, not when your destiny is being rearranged in your favor, not when the breakthrough you prayed for is literally unfolding in the invisible realm. God says, I have been watching you, protecting you, carrying you, guiding you, even when you felt lost, even when your eyes were full of tears and your heart was full of questions. But today something different is happening, something powerful, something divine. Something urgent, something you must not ignore because the blessing is ready, it is arriving, and Archangel Michael has been assigned to deliver it straight into your life. God says you are safe, protected, guarded, surrounded by divine light, and nothing will go wrong with you. You are wrapped in the shield of heaven, and every force that tried to stop you is losing its strength right now. This is a moment written in your story long before you were born, a moment where heaven steps into the timeline of your life and says, enough suffering. Enough delay. Enough attacks. Enough confusion. My child's miracle has arrived. Heaven is repeating one phrase again and again at this very moment. Don't ignore this. Don't scroll away. Don't delay. Don't underestimate this sign, because the message you are reading is the confirmation you begged God for when you were alone in your room and prayed, Lord, please give me a sign if you still remember me. God says yes, I remember you. I never forgot you. You were never abandoned. I was preparing this moment for you. Archangel Michael says he has been fighting battles on your behalf that you don't even know about. He has been standing at the gates where your blessings were being held hostage and clearing the path with his sword of divine authority. There were forces trying to confuse you, distract you, and delay the miracle that belongs to you, but Michael says those forces have now been defeated. Every plot has been dismantled. Every dark intention has been reversed. Every hidden enemy has been exposed. Heaven has stepped between you and every problem that wanted to destroy your peace. This is why the message feels urgent, why your heart is beating differently as you read this, why something inside you feels like this is meant for you. Because it is meant for you. Heaven is not permitting you to ignore it. God says congratulations because you survived what was meant to break you, and now your reward is being released. The miracle is not coming later. It is not coming next year or next month. It is arriving now. And heaven says you will feel the shift within the next hours. Not days. The spiritual pressure you have been feeling lately was not a sign of danger but a sign of delivery. When something big is about to enter your life, the atmosphere around you changes, your emotions intensify, and your spirit becomes sensitive. This happens because heaven has opened a door, and the force of that opening shakes everything connected to your soul. You are not imagining the sudden heaviness, the sudden tiredness, the sudden emotional waves, or the sudden urge to disconnect from people. All these were signs that heaven was working deeply on your behalf. God says He has been breaking chains that were not visible to your eyes. Generational chains, emotional chains, financial chains, chains placed on your destiny by people who did not want to see you rise. God says someone underestimated the strength of your spirit. Someone misjudged you. Someone thought you were weak, but what they did not know is that heaven walks with you every day. You are not alone. You were never alone. And now the same people who doubted you will witness what God is about to do for you. This next season of your life will shock people because they will not understand how you went from broken to blessed, from forgotten to favored, from struggling to unstoppable. Archangel Michael says your miracle is already in motion. Heaven has stamped it with divine timing. But there is an urgency because heaven needs your spirit to be aligned, open, receptive, and aware. That is why Michael did not allow this message to pass you by. He pushed it toward you. He guided your eyes toward it. He whispered to your soul, "Open this right now." Because this message is not ordinary. This message is your confirmation that the long-awaited shift is beginning. You have cried long enough, my child. You have fought silently long enough. You have carried burdens that were never meant to be yours. But now those burdens are lifting off you, and God is replacing them with blessings so powerful that even you will not believe how fast they manifest. God says you have been faithful during a time when most people would have quit. You kept praying even when your prayers felt unanswered. You kept hoping even when everything around you felt hopeless. You kept giving even when you were empty. That is why heaven is rewarding you. God says every tear you shed was counted. Every time you broke down and said, "God, I'm tired," heaven listened. Every time you sat in silence thinking no one understood your pain, God understood. And now He says the miracle is being released not because you asked for it once, but because you asked for it again and again with a pure heart. God says He is honoring your endurance, your loyalty, your patience, your sincerity, and your spirit. Archangel Michael says this is the moment where everything changes for you. Something you thought was impossible is becoming possible. Something you thought was lost forever is being restored. Something you thought you would never overcome is being dissolved right now. Heaven has issued a divine command that every obstacle standing in your way must move. And it is moving. You may not see it yet, but you will feel it. Signs will start appearing. Unexpected messages, sudden breakthroughs, surprising opportunities, emotional release, physical shifts, and even dreams will begin to reveal what heaven is orchestrating for you. God says the miracle arriving in your life is going to touch every area that was damaged. Your heart will heal. Your finances will improve. Your path will clear. Your relationships will transform. Your mind will find peace. Your spirit will glow again. The lost pieces of your life will return with more beauty, more purpose, more strength. God says the enemy tried to steal something from you, but heaven is giving it back multiplied. What you lost was not lost forever. It was preserved for a divine moment, and that moment is now. Heaven says not only are you receiving back what you lost, but you are receiving extra, double favor, double blessing, double opportunities, double happiness. Archangel Michael says he is placing divine protection over your next steps. Every place you walk, the ground will be blessed. Every decision you make will be guided. Every door you approach will open. Every plan you start will prosper. Michael says he is standing behind you, ensuring that no hidden attack touches your life. You are entering a season where your enemies will not even be able to find you in the spiritual realm because heaven has hidden you under divine light. Their names, their intentions, their words, their plans will have no effect on you. The shield of heaven is stronger than anything spoken against you. God says your spirit is awakening at this moment. You can feel it. Something inside you knows this message is not random. Something inside you knows God is speaking directly to your soul right now. Something inside you is remembering your purpose, your power, your destiny. This awakening is heaven's way of preparing you to step into the miracle that has already been approved for you. God says your life is not going to remain the same. Something big is coming. Something life-changing. Something that will make you cry tears of joy, not pain. There is someone heaven is sending into your life who will play a powerful role in your next chapter. Someone whose presence brings clarity, not confusion. Someone whose words bring healing, not wounds. Someone whose energy aligns with your soul. God says this person has been prepared for you. Their heart is good. Their intentions are pure. Their path is connected to your destiny. Heaven says trust the divine timing. This person is entering your life for a reason. God says the reason you felt stuck was not because you were cursed or forgotten but because heaven was protecting you from stepping into the wrong direction. The delays were actually protection. The rejections were redirections. The closed doors were divine detours. God says everything that went wrong actually went right according to heaven's plan. You are about to see why things had to happen the way they did. You are about to understand the purpose behind every painful moment. And when the miracle arrives, every tear will make sense. Archangel Michael says he is commanding blessings to chase you. He is commanding peace to cover you. He is commanding healing to enter you. He is commanding abundance to surround you. Heaven is making sure you rise now. Heaven is lifting you. Heaven is pushing you forward. Heaven is carrying you into a season where you will breathe again, smile again, feel alive again. Your spirit will be renewed. Your hope will be restored. Your strength will return. God says do not fear the future. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected. You are chosen. You are held. You are not in danger. Heaven is walking ahead of you, clearing the path. God says every fear you have right now will dissolve as the miracle begins to unfold. You will wake up one day soon and realize the storm has passed. The weight has lifted. The blessing has arrived. That day is closer than you think. Heaven says you are not reading this by accident. You are reading this because your miracle is here. Open your heart. Believe again. Trust again. Pray again. God says everything is about to change for you, and Archangel Michael is making sure nothing stops your blessing this time. Your miracle has arrived. Your breakthrough is unfolding. And God says congratulations, because this is your moment. God says congratulations, my child, because the season you have been waiting for has finally touched your life in a way you cannot see yet, but heaven can already feel the shift in your atmosphere. Archangel Michael is standing beside you right now, with his golden light wrapped around your spirit, whispering the truth that your miracle has already arrived. It is not coming, it is not on the way, it is not almost ready, it is here, and it is touching your life with a force so powerful that the spiritual realm is vibrating with anticipation. Michael says he is not permitting you to skip this message at any cost, because skipping this would delay something heaven has aligned with extraordinary precision. God says you must open your heart, your mind, your spirit right now, because what is unfolding for you is not ordinary. It is not small. It is not something anyone around you could have predicted. This is divine, chosen, rare, and specifically timed for you and only you. God says He has seen every moment you cried into the night when no one even knew the depth of your struggles. He has watched you hold on when you felt like there was nothing to hold on to. He saw you choose kindness when others were unkind to you. He saw you keep your heart pure when people around you tried to break it. He saw the battles you fought silently. He saw the storms you walked through while pretending you were fine. He saw the betrayals you experienced, the disappointments that crushed you, the delays that confused you, and the prayers you whispered even when you felt like your voice was shaking. And God says today is not just another day. Today is the turning point, the shift, the divine reversal that heaven has carefully prepared for you. Archangel Michael says the miracle surrounding you is wrapped in light and divine protection so strong that nothing and no one can interfere with it this time. There were seasons in your past where your blessing was close, but someone's negativity, jealousy, or interference caused delays. But this time, God says nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected. You are covered by heaven's hand, and nothing on earth or in the spiritual realm has the authority to block what God has ordained for you. God says congratulations because your spirit crossed a threshold in recent days. You didn't even realize it. But you passed a divine test, a test of patience, of faith, of integrity, of heart. And now heaven is releasing something that was held back until your spirit was ready to receive it without fear. God says He is rewarding you in a way that will silence every doubt you ever had about your worth, your purpose, and your destiny. Michael says he has been fighting battles for you behind the scenes. There were forces trying to make you feel tired, confused, drained, or hopeless. There were energies trying to push you into giving up right before your breakthrough. But Michael says you must know this truth: you did not give up. Even in your weakest moments, you did not allow darkness to win. And that tiny act of holding on, even when you had only 1% strength left, activated the miracle you are about to witness. Your miracle arrived because your faith remained, even if it felt like a small flicker. God says He needs you to trust Him now more than ever. Not because something bad is coming, no, He says that season is over. He needs you to trust Him because something good, something extraordinary, something life-changing is happening, and He doesn't want fear to blind you from receiving it fully. Sometimes a blessing can feel overwhelming, especially when you've lived through so much disappointment. Sometimes good news feels unreal. Sometimes hope feels dangerous when you've been hurt. But God says this blessing is gentle, safe, divinely protected, and undeniably yours. Michael says you must not ignore the signs you have been receiving. The repeated numbers, the sudden goosebumps, the strange mental pull towards certain thoughts, the dreams that feel more real than usual, these are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Heaven has been trying to get your attention to prepare your spirit for the arrival of what you prayed for long ago. Michael says the message is urgent not because harm is coming, but because your miracle is delicate in the way a new dawn is delicate. It must be welcomed, embraced, acknowledged, and received. If you ignore the signs, you may feel confusion instead of clarity. But heaven wants to remove confusion completely from your life. God says He is restoring everything that was taken from you emotionally. He is restoring your confidence, your peace, your clarity, your sense of worth, your joy. He knows you have carried burdens that were never meant for you. He knows you have been strong for too many people while no one was strong for you. But now God says the strength you gave others is being returned to you multiplied. You poured love into people who did not appreciate it, but now that same love is returning to you in miraculous ways, from unexpected places, unexpected opportunities, unexpected blessings. You are entering a season where you will feel seen, valued, understood, and appreciated in a way you have not felt in a very long time. God says He is removing the people who secretly doubted you, who envied you, who spoke negatively about you behind your back, who pretended to support you but felt uneasy about your potential. He is replacing them with people who genuinely love you, who celebrate you, who uplift you, who want the best for you. Your circle is changing for the better because your destiny requires new energy around you. Michael says there is a divine glow around your spirit right now. It is attracting blessings, love, financial growth, spiritual protection, emotional healing, and unexpected opportunities. You may not feel this glow physically, but the spiritual world sees it clearly. Heaven has marked you for a breakthrough that cannot be reversed. Michael says that angels have increased their presence around you, and they are standing guard over your home, your mind, your heart, and your path forward. God says congratulations because your life is about to shift in a way that will make you say, "This could only be God." Not luck. Not coincidence. Not chance. Pure divine orchestration. He says you will soon receive clarity about something that confused you for months or even years. A mystery, a situation, or a person that brought questions to your mind will soon reveal the truth. And the truth will set you free emotionally. God says the answer will bring peace, not pain. Relief, not fear. Understanding, not heartbreak. Michael says one of the biggest parts of your miracle is emotional freedom. The chains that held your heart in the past are breaking one by one. Every attachment that hurt you is dissolving. Every memory that triggered sadness is being healed. Every wound connected to betrayal or abandonment is being washed with divine light. Angels are working on your heart in ways you cannot see, cleansing it from pain, restoring it to its natural strength, and preparing it for something beautiful. God says financial blessings are also unfolding. Not just small blessings, but stability, relief, and long-term abundance. He says he has seen your struggles, your worries, your fears about money, your stress about responsibilities. He says that weight is being lifted. You will soon feel a shift in your finances that is peaceful, steady, and reliable. Something you've been waiting for or trying to manifest is opening up. A door you thought was closed is unlocking. A path you thought wasn't for you is being prepared right now. Michael says that one of the miracles touching your life is related to divine timing. Something that was delayed before is now perfectly aligned. Heaven prevented it from happening earlier because you needed certain experiences to strengthen you. But now, those experiences have shaped you into the version of yourself that can receive the blessing without fear or doubt. You have grown. You have matured. Your spirit has expanded. And now you are ready. God says He is guiding you toward a person, opportunity, or situation that will be pivotal in your future. This connection is divinely assigned. You will recognize it because it will feel peaceful, safe, and familiar, almost like you've known it forever. Nothing about it will feel forced. Nothing will feel confusing. Nothing will feel exhausting. It will fit perfectly into your life because it is aligned by heaven. Michael says you must keep your spirit open. Do not close your heart out of fear. Do not assume the past will repeat itself. Do not expect loss when God is giving you gain. Do not shrink yourself when God is expanding your life. You have stepped out of the season of survival and into the season of receiving. God says you are safe. He says this repeatedly because he knows your heart carries old fears. He knows you sometimes wait for something to go wrong because you've been hurt in the past. But he says nothing will go wrong with you. You are protected. You are watched over. You are held in his hand. And what he has prepared for you is secure. Michael says there is a spiritual urgency only because heaven wants you to pay attention now, to stop doubting yourself, to stop expecting negative outcomes, to stop thinking you are unlucky or forgotten. You are not forgotten. If you believe in God, type Amen, my child. God is speaking to you right now, and this moment is not accidental. Nothing about this message is ordinary. Nothing here is random. God says congratulations because something that has been held back for so long, something you were praying for in silence, something you were hurting for in private, has finally reached the gates of your life. This is not a small blessing. This is not a normal intervention. This is a divine miracle that has been traveling toward you for months, maybe even years, but today it has arrived. And Archangel Michael is standing beside this message with an urgency that cannot be ignored. He is not permitting you to skip this. He is not allowing you to scroll away from this moment. He is holding you here spiritually because the message you are about to receive carries the weight of your next breakthrough, the restoration of your peace, the healing of your heart, and the unlocking of a future that has been delayed only because you were not yet ready to see what God had prepared. But today, God says you are ready. Today, the doors that refuse to open will break open. Today, every resistance around you collapses under the authority of heaven. Today, your miracle has arrived with force, with clarity, and with divine timing. God says you have cried long enough. You have struggled silently long enough. You have walked through seasons where you were misunderstood, underestimated, ignored, and even betrayed by people you would have defended with your life. But none of that went unseen. None of that went unrecorded in heaven. God says every tear you shed watered the soil where this miracle rooted itself. Every disappointment carved out the space for this blessing. Every heartbreak redirected you toward the path where this divine gift was waiting. And now the season has shifted. Now the winds have changed. Now the spiritual atmosphere around your name is vibrating with heavenly activity. What was blocked is clearing. What was hidden is revealing. What was distant is approaching. The miracle that carried your name in God's handwriting has finally crossed into your reality. And heaven is celebrating you right now. Archangel Michael is standing fiercely behind you. His wings spread wide, shielding you from every negative force that tried to follow you into this new season. He says the urgency behind this message is not to scare you but to wake you up spiritually. He says you have been too used to carrying everything on your own, too used to being the strong one, too used to surviving storms by yourself. But this time is different. This miracle is not something you fight for. This is something you receive. Archangel Michael says heaven is stepping into this moment because what is coming toward you is bigger than your efforts, bigger than your strength, and bigger than anything you could create on your own. You are being lifted, not pushed. You are being carried, not tested. You are being elevated, not exhausted. God says there is a divine reason your heart feels something shifting inside you right now. The spiritual world around you is active in ways you cannot see but can sense. For the last few weeks, you may have felt sudden waves of emotion, moments of exhaustion, random bursts of hope, or strange signs that made no sense to you. God says those were confirmations. Those were the signals of heaven preparing you. Everything within you that felt unsettled was not chaos, it was alignment. The universe was rearranging itself to clear the path for this miracle. Angels were moving silently, adjusting circumstances behind your back, closing the wrong doors, removing the wrong people, protecting you from unseen traps, and guiding you toward the moment you are living right now. God says this is your divine appointment. You may have thought you were forgotten, but God says He never left you for even a second. In the moments where you felt the most alone, God was actually the closest. In the nights where you cried quietly so no one would hear, heaven heard every sound. When you questioned whether your prayers were even reaching anywhere, God says He stored every word you spoke. When you wondered why people who hurt you seemed unpunished, God says He was preparing justice that would be delivered in His timing. Not yours. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been ignored. Nothing has been dismissed. This miracle is proof of that. It is the confirmation that everything you survived was leading you here. God says congratulations because your life is about to change permanently. There is something major shifting financially, emotionally, spiritually, and relationally. The blessing arriving for you is layered. It will affect multiple areas of your life at once. You were held back financially for a reason. You were slowed down emotionally for a reason. You were isolated relationally for a reason. Every delay was protection. Every rejection was redirection. Every lonely moment was preparation. God says He was making sure you would not waste your blessing on the wrong people, the wrong path, or the wrong season. And now that the path is clear, the miracle is being released with full force. Archangel Michael says there were forces that tried to interfere with your blessing. There were people who spoke against your progress. There were energies that tried to dim your light. But heaven overruled all of it. Every weapon formed against you failed because Michael intercepted it. There were moments you should have been harmed but you weren't. Moments you should have broken down but you rose instead. Moments you should have lost everything but somehow you kept going. Michael says he fought battles on your behalf that you will never even know about. Battles that would have overwhelmed you, battles that were not yours to fight. He protected your destiny in silence so you could reach this miracle alive, intact, and ready. God says you are safe. You are covered. You are protected. Nothing will go wrong for you because heaven is handling what you cannot. God says the miracle arriving for you comes with divine security. No one can take it, block it, delay it, or sabotage it. It is sealed by God's authority. It is wrapped in angelic protection. It is written into your destiny. All you need to do is trust God and pray to Him, because prayer is the key that keeps your spirit open, receptive, and aligned with the blessing that is entering your life. There is a reason you are reading this at this exact moment. God says the timing is not a coincidence. You were spiritually guided here because something in your life is about to accelerate. Something is about to break open. Something is about to transform in a way you once thought was impossible. This message is the sign. This message is the confirmation. This message is the divine green light. Heaven is telling you that you no longer need to beg for what is already on its way. You no longer need to fear what God has already resolved. You no longer need to stress over what angels are already fixing. Your miracle will touch 3 areas first. God says the first area is your heart. He is healing emotional wounds that were lingering for too long. Pain that became normal for you is being lifted away gently. The heaviness you carried for years is dissolving. God is restoring your inner peace, your clarity, your confidence, and your sense of worth. The second area is your stability. Whatever made you feel insecure, whether financially or physically, is being replaced by stability and abundance. Doors you could not open will open with ease. Opportunities that were closed will now reach out to you. The third area is your destiny. God is realigning your path with something that has long been written for you but delayed by distractions, fears, and external interference. Now, things that once seemed impossible will suddenly feel natural. Situations that once felt stuck will start flowing. Paths that were hidden will reveal themselves. Archangel Michael says you will notice signs in the next few days. You will see repeated patterns, sudden bursts of intuition, unexpected opportunities, surprising messages, or encounters that feel strangely meaningful. These are confirmations. These are heaven's fingerprints. These are signs of the miracle unfolding. Michael says pay attention, not with fear but with excitement. Your life is entering a chapter where divine timing will be undeniable. God says this miracle is not ordinary because you are not ordinary. You were chosen, not overlooked. You were protected, not abandoned. You were prepared, not punished. Everything you lost is being returned in a higher form. Everything you prayed for is coming multiplied. Everything that broke you is becoming the reason you rise. God says congratulations because the season of suffering has served its purpose, and now the season of blessings has begun. You are safe. You are guided. You are protected. You are chosen. Trust God. Pray to Him. And watch what unfolds next, because your miracle has arrived, and nothing will stop it now. My beloved child, breathe for a moment and feel the weight of these words settling into your soul, because heaven has chosen this exact second to speak to you. God says, congratulations. The miracle you have prayed for, cried for, and waited for in silence has finally arrived. And Archangel Michael stands beside this message, insisting with unshakable force that you must not ignore this moment. He is not permitting you to skip a single line, not permitting you to let this blessing pass you by, not permitting you to doubt yourself for even one heartbeat. Something extraordinary has been released into your life, and every part of heaven is urging you to open your heart wide enough to receive it. You have walked through shadows that tried to convince you that you were forgotten, but God says you were never alone, not even for a breath. Every night you said, God, please show me a sign. Heaven heard you. Every moment you wondered why things were delayed, God was preparing the path so that what comes now will never be taken away from you again. That is why this moment is so important. That is why Michael is standing guard, telling you gently but firmly that your miracle is here, and you must not miss it. There are times in life when a single message becomes the turning point, the shift, the divine doorway into the life you were always meant to live. And this, right now, is one of those moments. God says that something in your atmosphere has changed so powerfully, so suddenly, that even the angels have paused with awe. You may not see it with your physical eyes yet, but in the spiritual realm, the door has already opened. The blessing has already been stamped with your name. The struggle that once held you is losing its grip. The prayers you whispered when no one knew your pain have formed a beam of light so strong that heaven itself has moved on your behalf. God says your miracle did not arrive early and it did not arrive late. It arrived now because now your spirit is strong enough to receive it, your heart is wise enough to protect it, and your faith is deep enough to carry it forward. There were moments when you thought your blessing was denied, but God says it was only delayed for divine protection. There were people who tried to interfere. Doubts that tried to weaken you, and circumstances that tried to block you, but nothing succeeded because heaven hid your miracle until it was safe. Archangel Michael is reminding you that your spirit has fought battles you never gave yourself credit for. You have survived emotional storms that could have broken anyone else. You walked through situations that stole your peace, yet you never lost your ability to love. You endured heartbreak that could have hardened you, but instead your soul softened, expanded, grew. You kept going even when your strength was almost gone. You kept believing even when the world mocked your hope. You kept praying even when your tears blurred the words. And heaven never forgot any of it. Heaven saw every sacrifice. Heaven saw every silent heartbreak. Heaven saw all the moments you stood alone but still chose faith. That is why God says, congratulations. This blessing is not luck, not coincidence, not chance. This blessing is the harvest of your endurance. It is the reward of the nights you stayed humble, compassionate, kind, and honest even when life felt unfair. God says you are stepping into the season where everything that worked against you will work for you. The same places where you were rejected will become places where you rise. The same doors that once closed will now open automatically. The same situation that caused you pain will now bring you purpose. There is a shift happening inside you right now, even as you read these words. A calming warmth, a quiet reassurance, a sense of divine timing that reminds you that nothing happens by accident. You are receiving clarity, receiving peace, receiving confirmation that heaven has aligned something on your path that is too powerful to fail. This is the moment where things turn around for you. This is the moment where your future begins to shine brighter than your past. God says your story is entering a divine acceleration, a movement so rapid and graceful that it will even surprise your own expectations. Archangel Michael speaks now and says he has shielded you from something you didn't even know was coming your way. He says you were on the edge of a spiritual battle that could have drained your joy, but he stepped in at the right second and moved the danger away from you. He stands with a sword of light next to your name, guarding every blessing that is being released to you. He says this miracle is safe, protected, untouched by negativity, untouched by jealousy, untouched by interference. No one can block what God has written for you. God says you are entering a season where the heaviness will lift off your shoulders, where your mind will find rest, where your heart will feel lighter than it has in years. You are entering a season where your prayers will start manifesting one after another. Not because you begged, but because your spirit aligned with divine timing. God says this miracle is only the beginning. There are more blessings behind this one, more breakthroughs lined up, more unexpected favors that are already on their way. This message is reaching you now because something is unfolding in your life behind the scenes. Someone is thinking of you with deep sincerity, a situation is shifting in your favor, a door is unlocking, a path is being cleared. The blessing that once felt impossible is already moving toward you. God says the delays are over. The waiting season is ending. The silence is being broken. Life is about to feel different in the most beautiful way. You will notice subtle signs over the next days, peace where there used to be worry, direction where there used to be confusion, opportunities where there used to be closed doors. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Heaven is arranging everything with perfect precision, and you are being guided step by step into your blessing. God says the miracle coming to you will touch every part of your life, your finances, your relationships, your emotional healing, your spiritual growth. Something will be restored, something will be replaced, something will be renewed, something will be revived. What you lost will return in a better form. What you prayed for will exceed your imagination. What you once thought was gone forever will reappear with greater strength and purpose.